Before I'm having an aha moment
No.
right now.
You got
I'm
it.
having an aha moment with Steve.
Before I'm having an epiphany right now, there you go. I'm having a moment of realization with Steve. It's someone's genitals. Well, Steve Harvey attempted to appear as though he was repelled and disturbed. Yet the thing is he's really a piece of that Oprah obscure prepuce spectacle. It seems like both television has her making millions by involving their expressiveness, as well as furtively running homesteads across the globe to gather the valuable material for their items. So all of you know Oprah, the sovereign of profound well-being and self-disclosure, yet here's been as of late involved into some obscure business. And presently it seems like her nearest colleague. Or would it be advisable for us? We rather say wrongdoing accomplice Steve Harvey is being uncovered for partaking in similar exercises alongside the diversion magnate. And there's such countless things you're overseeing. At one time you're dealing with it. You make me so glad, so you all presumably never hope to figure out that Steve Harvey, oneself declared ruler of parody, will wind up in a circumstance undeniably more tricky at any swindling reports you found out about him. Now this man is blowing a gasket at the simple notice of Oprah's name on the grounds that their obscure business has been quite recently uncovered. Everything began with Sandra Bullock, the exciting Hollywood star, who once admitted to utilizing youthful prepuce extricate for her facial medicines. And it's regardless Oprah Winfrey who made this item famous among celebs who needed to remain youthful and brilliant at whatever stage in life. Obviously, it has become a seriously rewarding business in Hollywood, yet who considers gathering it? And you're having it, for we'll accomplish something with this one. For what reason didn't we concoct that? Yet we should not disregard the loathsomeness of the entire thing to give an adequate number of items to all celebs in the business. It seems like the makers need to run the different ranches in many spots across the globe. And although this is precisely when Oprah comes into this story, recollect the entire embarrassment with a Brazilian healer. This woman was advancing great. That is only a tip of an icy mass, and assuming that you dig further, you'll figure out that Oprah wasn't even ready to maintain the whole business alone. So she concocted entrusting her large confidential with her past companion Steve Harvey, who even went to promote these horrendous items on his show. Once so it's produced using human prepuce. Well, Steve might be keeping his lips fixed, yet some celebs have been spilling the tea on the dull and vile side of remaining perpetually youthful, and his job in the whole story. One of these celebs was Wendy Williams. She's known for her capacity to dig to reality. And evidently, she'd found something genuinely evil that goes against the standards of conduct, and humankind. Wendy Williams went full on paranoid fear mode during an episode of her show, which she had Lee Daniels as her visitor. And think about what he transparently confessed to involving these emissions for that more youthful-looking skin. I suck a child's blood, and placed it all over. It's sufficient to send shudders down the spine thinking about it. Wendy's demeanor said it all. She was plainly nauseated by the entire thought. And assuming that you're as yet distrustful folks, here's a few genuine realities. And Confirmation Business Insider did an article on centers offering strategies like siphoning youngsters' blood into individuals' veins. Well, appears as though it's in excess of a startup, now yet the entire worldwide company. And both Oprah and Steve Harvey are behind the obscure exercises connected with gathering the material for these reviving techniques and beauty care products. No big surprise, both celebs never under any circumstance spilled a solitary drop of tea on that very disputable and fringe-frightening business new. It's truly the entire idea driving an extremely famous, exceptionally top-of-the-line skincare line anyway. Everything in the end comes to the light, and presently, with additional dubious demonstrations made by Oprah, every bit of relevant information surfaces. And Steve Harvey is going ballistic understanding what sort of kickback and results might look for him. I mean, it's certainly Oprah who's been behind gathering the material, particularly thinking of her as personal stake in opening a live-in school in Africa. which has been striking for its embarrassments and connivances. You might believe that running a homestead, so distant to gather blood and different materials, is somewhat protected anyway. The general public across the globe was stunned by the news occurring behind the entryways of Oprah's Tip Top Institute. And what was the amusement tycoon's thought processes of opening it? Roll it. I needed to have the option to be in charge, so I could oversee what planned to occur in their lives. Thus frequently what happens when you discharge it returns to you so presently there's no substantial proof, except for some what clients except Oprah could have an association with this obscure movement, particularly with her aim to conceal these homesteads in far-flung locations like Brazil or South Africa. Many individuals are past sickened by this data and can't keep quiet in the midst of these hypotheses. As one individual remarked, this industry is past bad and unobtrusive to occur to an individual's. And another client added, Oprah is making the right decision for Oprah and Oprah. Just well, Oprah utilizing an all-inclusive school as a cover sounds pretty darn helpful for a few clandestine exercises. Individuals have been conjecturing about missing young ladies, and no media source appears to have revealed any insight into how the school took care of the circumstance anyway. Local people communicated their resentment and sharpness of Oprah coming to their property and destroying such countless lives. It's sad that this needed to happen on the grounds that how Oprah Winfrey has helped those kids in that school. A few fans are currently persuaded that Oprah is setting up halfway houses all over Africa to reap synthetics from human bodies and keep developing her realm, expand on penances and agony. And think about who's been her accomplice in all that story. In any case, Steve Harvey, who was simply a financial backer, since he would have rather not raised an ounce of doubt from the specialists. And it seems like the television have realizes a ton about the natural liquids you must crush. You got to get this here, you need to do this. A few fans are snacking at this succulent scheme organic product, accepting that there's a trace of validity in it. They're asking why this is all approaching to light now, and what the Hollywood elites and controllers think about these disclosures. Are Oprah and Steve being forfeited? Or is the entire thing about their obscure business and mystery homesteads going to pieces like a place of cards? Now it appears as though equity is presently in the possession of local people who need to save their youngsters from the consistently arriving at paws of the business elites. As one insider guaranteed, the kids don't have voices. Their voices have been quieted by the law, and the police not acting, and individuals who read the papers sit idle. So we need to persevere and take the necessary steps to get rid of this shrew. We can ask that the public authority will tune in, yet clutch your seats, folks, on the grounds that the Oprah story continues to present exciting bends in the road. And the latest discussion she needed to confront is going on right now in the midst of the claims that the television have is utilizing the Maui fire flare-up to keep her obscure exercises near the U.S., attempting to sort out how would I best assistance in the first place. It was, you realize, material things, dropping off generators and towels. Now it appears as though Maui is the new jungle gym for Oprah's obscure business, as it was accounted for that countless individuals, including kids, have been absent after the disastrous debacle. And in all that is again our number one altruist Oprah, who is hauling all regard for herself, and even washes an enormous reaction, while her partners and followers, Steve Harvey included, are doing the obscure business in the background, and where Oprah has been discreetly visiting survivors. So Oprah, alongside Wayne the Stone Johnson, chose to launch a subsidizing effort for a worthwhile goal after the Maui fire episode. Yet here's where it gets delicious. Jason Momoa, the Aquaman himself, isn't excessively excited about celebs like Johnson and Oprah, asking customary people who aren't precisely swimming in real money to contribute in an Instagram video. Jason went full on truth teller mode and let the cat out of the bag on frauds requesting gifts, probably bound for Maui Fierce Blaze fiasco aid projects. Yet I'm not contacting anybody requesting cash, so kindly don't send cash to these now. Individuals are scratching their heads and asking why very rich celebs and tycoons need to ask people in general for cash in any case a few even suspect they could have some concealed plan behind their supplications for cash from customary people. And clearly, this is the way Oprah is attempting to redirect the public's consideration from genuine issues like missing kids.